Studios, Babak Emamian, a member of the British Iranian Business Association. Good to have you with us. So it's no surprise that these sanctions have been reimposed. What may be a surprise is that there are even more measures that have been instated on Iran. What impact is this going to have then on Iran's economy? Well,
which aspects are we talking about, private sector or the government? The government thinks that they have, or they are saying they have, 100 billion in reserves around the world. The question is, do they have access to it or not? Then the government have said also that if they can, as long as they can sell 1 million barrels per day, which they would be selling probably at $50. So they would be getting about $18 to $20 billion per year. So they said they can survive for the next 3 years, as long as they go into war economy. War economy means rationing. Now, the religious leadership wants the government to mobilize people into war economy on rationing. The government is hesitant because people are not ready for it. It's not what people have asked for it. So there is that friction. So we have to see how this plays out. I don't think the government has access to that 100 billion, even if it's around the world. The other 18 to 20 billion income would be most probably in form of medicine, drug, and other essential medicines or food or so on. So the government will operate, but the private sector will suffer. So those who have made their money already, they will probably quit, not do any more because they don't want to lose money. And the ones who are not making money, they're going to go bust even quicker.
Yeah, well, what about this idea of the EU, that it set up a mechanism to allow countries to continue trading with Iran? Is that a viable alternative?
Well, it is more of a political action, this special purpose vehicle. They just want to, the politician in EU or Europe want to say we are independent from US. And because of this, the US has retaliated, but not giving them waivers on Iranian oil. So there is an issue, how much it is at stake for Europe to fall out with America because of Iran. I think it's just, for Europe, is more question of establishing their own independence a little bit, but I don't think this SPV is going to help Iran in any way. Because anyway, Iran doesn't trade with EU as much. 70% of Iranian crude goes to China, India or Japan, and South Korea.
And this idea that the US had about we are going to hasten Iran's international economic activity until it changes its behavior, is it going to force the Iranian regime into making some kind of deal with the US?
Well, the big question is, what incident would inflame the nation? I mean, we saw in Tunisia, it was the burning of a street marketeer that started the whole Arab Spring. So right now, the Iranian government doesn't know what would inflame people, how much hardship the Iranian people can take.
And there have been a lot of protests in Iran against the regime for this reason.
So what we know, the pressure is there. America are actually increasing pressure, and they have become even better at imposing sanction. And they're actually treating Iran exactly how they did with Soviet Union, because the entire Soviet Union in that 60, 70 years was sanctioned, and all the intelligence agencies were working to stop Soviet Union access to funds and capital. So now they are doing the same thing with Iran. All the intelligence services are working to stop sanction busting in Iran. So I think these sanctions will be very effective.
Interesting stuff, Babak. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Good to have you here, Babak Emamian there. Now, some developments in the investigation into the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Now, a Turkish official says Saudi Arabia sent a toxicologist and a chemicals expert to Istanbul to cover up the murder before Turkish police searched the kingdom's consulate. The allegation follows the first public statements by